Hello and welcome back everyone to Foxboro's Fortress.
This is Foxboro's Fortress, your home for all the latest on the New England Revolution. Brought to you by Leading Lights, LLC.
Hello and welcome back everyone to Foxboro's Fortress, your home for all the latest on the New England Revolution. Once again, I'm Cecil, Kennedy, just me today for, I think, the fourth time in a row. Having some fun today, alright? The Revolution 1-2-1. I would yell, but it's late at night. How do we keep doing this? I don't know. Are we that good? I think so. Is this sustainable? I don't know, because we are great at home, but I haven't confirmed that on the road yet. So, we'll break down the 2-1 win against Philadelphia, along with looking ahead to the Nashville rematch, our final time playing Nashville this season, until, we meet them in the semifinals before we make it to MLS Cup final. Exactly how we drew it up, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. Big thank you to Leading Lights LLC for sponsoring this episode. More on them later, but for now, let's just jump right into the Philadelphia Union game. What a match. Say that much. It started off, I like looking at the FAMA momentum bit, and seemingly it was a revolution from the tip. Union had their moments, and then there was an own goal in the middle. It was like Revs had a ton of momentum, and then San's own goal. I saw the vision of what he was trying to do there. Didn't work out. Own net. It does happen. A bad day to be a Will Stan. But he recovered. And so did the Revolution. Philadelphia Union had more chances later on in that match, but the Revolution score 61st and 87th minute goals to win the match 2-1. Luca Langoni. Who are you? Where did you come from? Where did you go? Something about Cotton Eye Joe should go there. I'm pretty sure someone should write a song about that. That'd be a good song. The Revolution keep winning. It's wild to say. We go to the table. We still sit second in the East, or we moved to second in the East. I can't remember where we were before. 7 wins, 1 draw, 3 losses. Nashville, who we play on Wednesday, 7 wins, 3 draws, 1 loss, 2 points ahead of the Revolution, with a much higher goal difference. But we're +7, second in the East, above goal difference of Miami, and then there's a 5-point gap between us and 4th, 6-point gap between us and 5th or 6th, and it keeps going from there. The Revolution are decent and even good right now. What a time to be alive. Young and dumb on the edge of the world. Oh my, what a time to be alive. Young and dumb on the edge of the world. Talking about some Noah Khan. Here we go. Going through some stats here. Well, we'll go to big moments. Francis Westfield, who I thought about picking in my 5-side, goes off in the 31st for Olivier Mbazio, who I believe was in the Cameroon World Cup squad. I believe he's Cameroonian. Yeah, he's Cameroonian. He was in their World Cup squad last year. Or, not last year. Last World Cup, 2022. Man. Jovan Lukic gets himself a yellow in the 34th before Sands has himself the own goal in the 37th minute. It's unlucky. You don't love to see it, but those things happen. Indiana Vassiev gets a yellow just before half. After halftime, the first real thing to happen is the Luca Langoni goal, assisted by Carlos Hill. What a strike, Luca Langoni. Beautiful. You got subs from both teams. Bruno Damani and Augustin Anello come on for Philly, with Diego Funes entering for Griffin Yao. Alejandro Broego, Eagles, if you know, you know, comes on for Kevin Sullivan as he started. And Indiana Vassiev comes off as Jupovic comes on. Don't know if I got the last name right. Matt Polster comes back from injury, comes in for Luca Langoni. Anello gets himself a yellow. Carlos Hill hammers the game home. 2-1 Revolution in the 87th. It's just a good time to be a Revs fan. Welcome back, bandwagoners, wagoneers. Glad to have you. And then Tanner Beeson comes on to park the bus in 90+1 for Dor Turgeman. It's good to see the Revolution continue to win. This was a trap game. This was a game where Philadelphia were hungry for something, hungry for points, hungry for wins, hungry for doing well against a high-placed opponent, and they almost had it. They almost had us. And then, Luca Langoni said no, and so did Carlos Hill. Oh, man, my one good. It's hard to pick. Luca Langoni, Brooklyn Reigns had a really good game. Will Sands, despite the own goal, had a really good defensive game. But Mamadou Fofana, keep this going, my guy. Wow. 1 goal this season in 10 matches. He's just had a really good season this year, and it's been great to see. Ethan Kohler had himself a solid game. Payne Miller was a little bit underwhelming, in my opinion. But I do want him playing more attacking role. Instead of Griffin Yao, and you play Sands, and you play Feingold. And if Feingold's not ready, you push Kohler out to the side to keep him on the field, because I do believe Ethan Kohler needs to continue to play. And then Yusuf had a solid game. Turgeman actually had a decent game, although I wish that Turgeman could, score a bit more. Because if we're not getting those goals from our 9, it is a real issue. And so that's probably not bad that Turgeman hasn't gotten those scoring. He hasn't gotten on the score sheet through now 11 matches, only 2 goals. And I don't love to see that. We're missing Campana. And he's still out through injury for this Nashville match. And I don't know if he'll be back before the break. I don't believe so. And Zambrano, we haven't seen him in MLS play yet. So we're at that point where, hey, Dor Turgeman needs to step it up here and start scoring, because we can't be carried by Carlos Hill for a 17th season in a row, or Luca Langoni going in and out. As he's had an up and down season. He started out the season great. Well, I wouldn't say that. 2 lackluster games, and then 3 assists for Cincinnati, and then assist against St. Louis, goal and assist against Montreal. So he had a great 3-game stretch. Then he went quiet for 2 games against Rhode Island and DC. Got the assist against Columbus. Went relatively quiet for Atlanta and Miami. Was solid against Charlotte, and then the goal against Philadelphia. So he's had a very, up and down season, in my opinion. And so I need to see more consistency out of Luka, of just good performances in general. But overall, I need to see more from Turgeman, stepping up goal scoring wise. But I didn't really get to my good. The good is going to be the back line, and especially Mamadou Fofana, just having an incredible year to this point and continuing that against Philadelphia. Getting into stats, the Revolution dominated possession 61-39, going half by half. 64-36 in the first, 59-49, 59-41 in the second half. I don't love expected goals, so we'll skip over that. But total shots, 10 shots. I'm looking to hopefully push the Revs into that 12-14 range. I don't love these, I don't love 10 shots as a number. I hope to get more. 25 touches in the opposition box is a solid number. Maybe push that up a bit. But overall, shots, I think, is something, especially that comes through Turgeman. I think we need Turgeman taking shots and getting into the spots where he can take shots. Only 2 shots on target for both teams. That's not... The Revolution need more shots on target. Plain and simple. If we want to score more, shots on target. It takes shots to score. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky. So, it's something that needs to be worked on. 100%. Had 3 blocked shots, but emphasizes if you're getting 3 blocked shots this match, you need to get more shots up. You need to get more shots going. So that's my big takeaway. Need Turgeman to step it up, and you need to get more shots going if you want to score more. Going into 5-a-side. I had myself Turner, who I captained, went from a 7.3 to 8.3, along with Mamadou Fofana, who had the goal line clearance, Yusuf, Turgeman, and Sands, who, again, despite the own goal, had a really good defensive game. And that gets me to a 7.52. Cameron, on the other hand, had Andre Blake, who did not have the greatest game in net. Pate Miller had a semi, lackluster game, quiet game. Carlos Hill, though, man of the match, he captained him, gets him to a 9.8. Langoni, who had a good game, and then Sullivan. I ranted about Sullivan. He was on corners against the Revs. I thought that was surprising. I want y'all to leave your thoughts, about Kevin Sullivan taking corners. I feel like there's better options. Philly's an interesting side this year. I just don't see why Sullivan would be on corners. Not something I see why should be the case. Cameron ends up at 7.12, which means I take the dub once again in 5-a-side. My record jumps to 4-9. Hey, whatever works, I guess. The best XI was Turner, Fofana, Heel, Langoni, and Reigns. Reigns had a really good game. I've said this the last 4 episodes now, but I do believe that was his best so far in a Revs kit. He's getting to that point where he's more consistent and he's hitting his stride with the Revs now, and it's good to see. So I can't really rant about how he's not showing out anymore because he's doing well, and so he's now going to start to be an option in 5-a-side, very much so, in the coming weeks. So I'm glad to see him succeeding with the Revs now, as it's something we needed, because now we have options. Polster's coming back, and if he took advantage of the time where Polster was out, so good for Brooklyn Reigns, my man of the match. Give me Carlos Hill. Now give me Mamadou Fofana. If he doesn't have that goal line clearance, it's a completely different game. I will continue talking about Mamadou Fofana. Incredible. He's had what a season this year. Like nothing to get around it. Really impressed with Fofana's performances thus far this season, and he's been great. So that's my man of the match. My prediction was 3-1 New England. Obviously, it was not 3-1 New England. It was 2-1 New England. So got the Philly score right along with the New England win right, and I had an 87th minute. I had an 88th goal. 88th minute goal by Indiana Vassiev. Instead, Carlos Hill scored in the 87th. So closer there, but 3-1 obviously was not it. Fagundes, Turgeman, and Yusuf, none of them scored. Vassiev didn't score, so none of my scores were correct. One day we'll get there. Moving on, though, the current tally of 5-a-side is I sit at 4-9. Cameron falls to 5-3. I will soon eclipse that tally. Raphael, Sam, and Abe are all sitting undefeated. Again, Raphael 2-0, Sam and Abe at 1-0 apiece. And then Greg Johnstone, the One Fortress guest, to, be winless still. That's soon to change, though. Hopefully, in my opinion. We have another guest joining us for 5-a-side. But for that, we'll hand it over to Leading Lights LLC, the sponsor of the podcast.
Unlock the power of your platform data with Leading Lights, experts in transforming raw numbers into compelling benchmarks. Leading Lights helps a variety of companies turn insights into engaging stories that drive growth. Elevate your brand with data-driven content that captivates your audience and sets you apart from the competition with Leading Lights. Visit their website at leadinglights.io to see how you can transform your platform data.
Hey, a little back one to Foxboro's Fortress, your home for all the latest on the New England Revolution. Once again, I'm Cecil Kenny, still just me. What is the loneliest number? I think that's how that song goes. I think of the Batman Lego movie when I think of that song. I'm Batman. I'm Batman. I'm awesome. Something like that. It's a good song. It's a good movie. It's a slept-on movie. Let's be honest now. It's the Philadelphia, not the Philadelphia. We just covered that. It's the Nashville match on Wednesday. Nashville beat us 4-1 match day one. Let's just go back to match day one real quick. I know Revolution fans don't really want to go back to that match. That wasn't a particularly favorable Revs match. But the Revolution started. Turner, makes sense. Sands, now that looks good. Back then, no. Andrew Farrell and Keegan Hughes. Keegan Hughes is currently with Birmingham Legion and has played 2 matches for them. And Ethan Kohler at fullback. Since then, both him and Sands have improved mightily. I think that's the right term. Polster and Reigns, neither of them really had hit their stride yet. I don't believe Polster has hit his stride. And Brooklyn Reigns has had much better games. Griffin Yao, we were disappointed in, and we were hoping for more, and he's continued to disappoint us. Terjman was quiet on the wing and hoping for more, but he's not a winger. Carlos Hill, and then Leo Campana. Of the middle, Leo Campana also has since been injured, and Carlos Hill has continued to do well. So it's a very different team than match day one. Feingold came off the bench. Yusuf came off the bench. Fry came off the bench. Langoni came off the bench. Beeson came off the bench. And then you also had guys like Klein, Da, and Ewell, along with Parisian on the bench. So you had it's a very different squad now than it was during match day one. With that being said, it's still going to be a very tough game. Nashville's number 1 in the East for a reason. I do very much think the Revolution can win this and keep winning at home. It's going to be a Wednesday night. It makes it tricky, but I do think we can do that. I do think the Revs can pull that off. Going into 5-a-side, we did something different this time. A few hours ago, I reached out on all platforms to see who was interested in joining me for 5-a-side. And Paulo S on Twitter/X. He was the first to get back to me, said I'm in. We went back and forth in the DMs. We got our squads down. We never nailed down a captain, but the captain isn't totally relevant. It's just one player to watch, mainly. And so the captain rules will be changing after the World Cup break. Keep that in mind. But we'll keep it the same until then. Luca Langoni was Paulo's first pick. I followed that up with the 2 best midfielders in this match with Carlos Hill and Ani Mukhtar as my 2 and 3. Hill slots in as my midfielder with Mukhtar slotting in at extra. Langoni is his forward. He goes Terjman, and I had to correct him here, as Kasim apparently is a winger. I have a memory of him not being a winger the last time the Revs played him, like last season. I want to say he was outside mid or even a fullback back then. And so he wasn't wrong for picking him, but going off of follow positions, he had to end up axing him. He took Peyton Miller, who is still listed as left back, so he'll slot in at defender as the 5th pick. I go Mamadou Fofana and Christian Espinoza as my 6 and 7, my defender and my forward. His final picks is Matt Turner, and then needing a midfielder, limited options here because I took both Heel and Mukhtar. He goes Corcoran from Nashville. If I'm him, I go Yusuf or Reigns, but he goes Corcoran, and we'll see how that fares. My final pick goes to Brian Schwake, the Nashville keeper. He has been decent this year. I want to say 5 clean sheets and 1 for 2 on pens. He's had himself a good season. As very young, but getting to sit behind Joe Wells for a year and learn the ropes, along with being with Nashville's B team a few times. He's been set up for success, and he's done well up to now. So Obviously, I would prefer Turner because Turner, in my eyes, should be the U.S. number one and is the best keeper in MLS. But we'll see how this goes. I'm making sure. Yeah, it's Christian Espinoza. Yeah. So this is going to be an interesting game. My prediction here for the donuts. If anyone knows a donut shop, donut stand, places that sell donuts that they think would be a good fit to sponsor this section, Viking Sports currently sponsors the five-a-side, but for predictions and for the donuts, if you or someone you know is interested in sponsoring the predictions portion and they know a thing or two about donuts, let us know. My prediction here, Nashville is a very tough side, but the Revolution's backline has been incredible this year. Do we bring Ceballos back or do we not bring Ceballos back? That's where the question remains. I don't want him to be rushed back. So for now, I'm going to go 2-2 draw with these scores being, I see a 23rd minute goal. I see a 23rd minute goal. A 57th minute goal. A 79th minute goal. And an 80, no, and a 90 plus 2-minute goal to draw level. The 23rd minute goal belongs to Dor Terjman. He'll get us rolling quickly. Nashville will quickly counter, though. And Espinoza, 57, followed by Mukhtar to put the Revolution behind after leading initially. And the one to draw level. Who else but Peyton Miller? I couldn't think of anybody else. So, Peyton Miller, 90 plus 2 to level things. We don't win at home, but we stay undefeated at home. I never put out questions for this. I do apologize to the public. No transfer news. Although, if we're already talking about the next window, because I have a little bit of time here, let's talk about it. What do the Revolution need? Do we need a winger? No, because I want Peyton Miller playing winger. Do we need another fullback? The answer is yes, because Peyton Miller will have made that switch to forward at this point. And I can't rely on Demario McIntosh to back up both positions, and possibly, if I want to keep Ethan Kohler on the field, it gets messy. So I need another fullback. I think I need another capable. Ethan Kohler has become that capable center back, but if Ethan Kohler have him, say he becomes the backup fullback on one side, we need a fullback on the other side to back up either Will Sands or Eli Feingold. We need somebody. We need another fullback there. Say Ethan Kohler does the one side. We need one on the other side. But then center back is still in need. Kyle Hibbert. I'll continue to, say good things about him. He's done well for St. Louis the last 3 years. He's been with their B team this year, so I think this year could very much be a time to scoop him up very cheap. And I think he's exactly what you're looking for in a backup center back there. MLS veteran presence. So keep him in mind. And then, yeah, I think maybe you got to buy down Turner, and then maybe you got to make one more move. You got to go maybe fill that DP spot. With that being said, not much else to be said. It's going to be a tough game against Nashville. A very difficult side, as the rest of MLS has seen. But it is doable. But with that, make sure you follow us on X and Instagram at Foxboro Fortress. Make sure you're following on whatever platform you are on, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. Next, if you want to be featured in the next episode, comment on our posts with your thoughts. Thank you, Leading Lights LC and Viking Sports MA once again. Next episode, this one's coming out Wednesday. This one is coming out on Wednesday. The next one should come out. It's probably going to end up being a Friday. Hopefully not Saturday. But it would be a record Thursday, or post Friday, or a record Friday, and post on Saturday. Those depend on, who has time, and if I have time. And then hopefully, the Revolution, don't have a midweek game, to my knowledge, and we are able to get back to a completely normal posting schedule. But that being said, it's once again just me, so I'll finish off for the who knows how many times it is. This was Foxboro's Fortress.